overworked and undersexed. I know a lot of you have been looking forward to it. Before that debate, as we always have, we're going to be having an emergency motion, and the motion is going to be, this House would give up and go home. We're going to be having 5-minute speeches, as we normally do. In proposition, we're going to be having Charlotte Ivers and Milo Edwards, and in opposition, we have Eleanor Clapson and Alice Pavey. So without any further ado, I'd like to welcome the first speaker from proposition, Charlotte.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am going to try and convince you of the proposition, this House would give up and go home. I'm not quite sure how it's going to go, not because I don't believe in the proposition. If anything, I believe in it too much. When I was trying to write this speech earlier, I actually ended up giving up and going for a nap. So this could go well, this could go awfully. So despite my lack of effort, I reckon by the end of this speech, I can solve your love life, I can solve your work life, I can let you live the dream, and I can help you to give up and go home. So let's start, because it's Valentine's Day, but also because I want to have a complaint, and I've kind of run out of friends to do that to, by talking about our love lives. So if you want someone to have sex with you, I kind of see there being two ways you can go about this. The first way, you can go into Cindy's and you can try and pull someone, and you can go home for a night of disappointing sex, which will result in you being unable to look at each other in the eye at lectures the next day. This is all very well and good if you're successful in about the first half an hour. If you are unsuccessful, you end up being one of those people, and we've all seen them, the worst kind of people in the world, the one guy with his 1 VK who walks around life by himself, grinding on every single girl possible. Ladies and gentlemen, you do not want to be that man, so I would urge you at this stage, please do give up and go home. Your other option, you can convince someone, you can fool someone even, into thinking that you are a functioning human being and that you're worth being in a relationship with. Now, this is absolutely lovely, but there's also a problem with it. You are incredibly statistically unlikely to marry the person you are with at this age. Now, I don't want to ruin everybody's Valentine's Day. I'm sure there are plenty of couples in here, but at some point, one of you is going to start to find the other one despicable. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, you have two options. You can cling desperately to them, trying to make it work. And this will just end up in you drunk on a bridge at 3 a.m. on your birthday, being dumped, and unironically, without any sense of self-awareness, using the words, "I think I've cried so many tears over you that I don't have any left." Or so I've heard, apparently. Or, ladies and gentlemen, you have another option. The minute things start to get tough, you can give up and go home, and everyone will be happier for it. Now, obviously, the reason we're having the main debate tonight is that there's another thing that might get in the way of your love life, and that is your work. And I here as well think that you should give up and go home. Why do I think this? Well, this week, ladies and gentlemen, I wrote an essay, and the title of that essay was, "Is there a possible world in which you are a jelly baby and a jelly baby is you?" That's literally just my degree, that's not even made up. And at about midnight, I was sitting in Pembroke's horrible 24-hour basement computer room, which is exactly as fun as it sounds. And I thought, I can either soldier through and write this essay and be tired and upset, or I can go to bed. And I went to bed. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, I was surprised too, but nobody died. I'm still here, no one's chucked me out of this university. And I think we could say the same for everyone else's degree, really. Unless you're a medic or an engineer, and even then, if you are a medic or an engineer, and you're not really feeling it, I think probably you should give up and go home, because if you don't want to do that half-heartedly, you don't want to botch someone's operation or someone's bridge building. So ladies and gentlemen, what I've tried to show to you tonight is that if you give up and go home, you will live a more fulfilling life in so many ways. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to choose the good life. I urge you to choose a good love life, a good work life, to choose laziness, and to choose apathy. Ladies and gentlemen, I urge you to choose the proposition and then to give up and go home. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that speech, Charlotte. I'm sure we're all more fulfilled as a result. Now, to welcome the first speaker from the opposition, Eleanor. Eleanor is a first-year English student at Newnham College.
So tonight, me and Alice have been given the unenviable task of opening for the footlights. So as much as that makes us want to give up and go home at this point, we're not going to. We're going to get on with our speeches. So I've seen emergency debates before. I know the format. Like, you introduce your points, you make a few self-deprecating comments, you kind of like waffle about privilege for a while, and then someone waves a piece of paper at you. Like, we all know how this goes. So, like, here are my 3 points for you this evening. My first one is going to be why Cambridge is great, so why would you want to give up and go home? Second point is, everywhere else in the country is a bit shit, so why would you want to go home to it? And my third point, my third point is going to be a surprise to keep you all on your toes. So my first point is going to be why Cambridge is great. So this breaks down into 2 main points, really. And the first one is going to be if you do work. And the second point is going to be that if, like me, you don't actually do any work. So the first point, if you do work, is that basically this is a perfect environment for you. You're being taught by world-class academics. You've got endless libraries that never close. And also, to use a 50 Shades of Grey analogy, you're like the kind of masochist who actually loves this sort of environment. You enjoy kind of like going to the red room of pain that is your library and like clamping yourself to your books, and I think this has gone like far enough, but we're just going to leave that there. So like you're our natural allies in this situation, and why would you want to give up and go home? You might pretend that you're on team proposition, that you don't want to give it all up, that actually you hate it here, but we know that you're going to be getting a first at the end of the year, so just stop complaining. So on to the second point, that if you don't work like me, I'm an English student, so I fairly rapidly found out that you don't actually have to do that much work to just kind of like float along in Cambridge. You're here because you wanted to go to Hogwarts, basically. I think we all know, well, I've heard Cambridge described as Hogwarts for wankers, and I think that's a pretty accurate description in a lot of ways. We all love the robes, we all love the feasts, we all love the punts, we like the drinks receptions with people with names like Fenella, and my personal favourite is someone called S.G. Otterwill Soulsby, who emails me once a week, inviting me to the Ancient Literature Society. If S.G. is here, big up to Ancient Literature Society. I've kind of always wanted to meet you secretly. So sometimes you go to lectures, sometimes you don't go to lectures, sometimes you do an essay, sometimes you don't, sometimes you pass your exams, sometimes you don't. But ultimately, we're all living the Cambridge dream. So we weren't under any illusions when we applied, and we're enjoying it really. So why would we want to give up and go home? And so I'm going to move on to my second point, which is that home isn't actually that great. Pretty much everyone at Cambridge is from London, and if you're not, so all of your friends are here. Why would you want to go home? If, like me, you're not actually from London, I'm from Leeds, which is in the north. I doubt many of you have been there, but I'm going to use a Game of Thrones analogy here. If Sheffield is sort of Winterfell, because Sean Bean lives there, we all know that. Then Leeds is kind of beyond the wall. No one wants to go there. It's got White Walkers and coal miners and other things that people thought were extinct. I don't know. In the real world, it's pretty grim. There's no bikes and there's no punts, and not everything is within walking distance. It's horrible. Furthermore, you actually have to get a job in the real world, which none of us want to do. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, maybe life smells like an actual arse crack, and maybe your DOS might complain if you don't do your essay, but frankly, that's better than actually going out there and working. And so my third point, my surprise point, is that, ladies and gentlemen, we have all paid almost £200 to be members of the union, and frankly, I want to get my money's worth. So thank you very much, and please vote for the opposition tonight.
Now doing a floor round, where if you want to make a point in proposition, opposition, or an abstention of the motion, this is your time. If you do want to make a point, and you get chosen, please could you say your name and then your college before you make a point. So are there any points in the proposition that anyone wants to make? Anyone? Anyone in the balcony? No one in the room wants to make a point. Okay, fair. Okay. Anyone in the room want to make a point in opposition? Seriously? Guys? Anyone in abstention? Oh, is there someone in the... Is that for proposition or opposition?
For abstention.
Can you wait until the microphone comes? Thank you. Say your name and college.
Hello. Just a point that...
Can you say your name and college, please?
Alex Homerton. Just wanted to say that it's kind of a... just that Leeds is actually bloody brilliant, so keep that in mind.
Thank you very much for your enlightening point. Are there any other people who want to make points in proposition? Okay. Can we get a microphone? Lady in the grey jumper. Who is it? Please, can you say your name and your surname and your college?
I just wanted to say that my name is...
Please, can you say your name and your surname and your college? And then your point.
Fenella Keeble. I don't actually have a point. Just
Again, thank you for enlightening us all. Are there any other people who want to make points in proposition? Hands up. Oh, there's. Please, can we get a microphone to the man in the hoodie?
Hi, I'm the man in the hoodie.
Please, could the man in the hoodie say his name, his surname, and his college?
My name's Scott Limbrick, Jesus College. I'm from far south of the wall. Until this week, I came to Cambridge thinking it would be a sort of bastion of intellectual thought, right? And I was on board until this week. Two things happened. I woke up the other day, walked outside, my street was covered in 4 graffiti penises. Then today I walked past a sign for the Cambridge University Free Thought Society advertising a 9/11 conspiracy event. And both of those combined have made me want to give up and go home, so I'll give it to the proposition.
Thank you. Are there any points in opposition? Please, we get a microphone to the person over there on the balcony. Do we have any stewards on the balcony? Is there someone in a fluorescent jacket running over? Brilliant. Cool. Give it a second. No, you. James.
Danielle Clare College. Kind of in a response to a point made by the opposition. Sam O'Toole Salisbury is actually a good friend of mine, and Ancient Litsock is great. So you shouldn't give up, you shouldn't go home, you should go to Ancient Litsock and have biscuits.
These points tonight are brilliant. Okay. Do we have any more points in abstention before we move back to the main debate? Anyone? Anyone at all? No one on the balcony? Okay, well, there's someone. Brilliant. Can we get that steward to... James, do you mind running and getting it over to there?
Oh, no.
Thank you. Sorry about the wait. Okay.
Hi, so both of you,
Please can you say your name?
Sorry,
and your college?
Helen at Clare College. And like both the proposition and the opposition went on about how like the great academics, and one of you said that like if you don't write the essay you won't be killed, and the other one said great academics. I think like neither of you do law. The lawyers are really quite scary, and they will kill you if you don't write that essay. They will at least put you in prison because they have the power to do that. They're very scary people.
Vouching for the fact that lawyers are very scary people, we're going to be moving on to the rest of the debate. Milo Edwards is going to be speaking next in proposition. Milo is a 4th-year student at Peterhouse, and I'm sure he's going to enlighten us all. Please, could we give the floor to Milo?
Good evening, my name's Milo Edwards and I'm at Peterhouse, but don't hold it against me, which is incidentally something you often have to say within the confines of Peterhouse. I'm going to open with a haiku. If you resort to haiku in times of struggle, give up and go home. Now, I feel there are a few points in the debate I should address so far. First of all, in that Fenella's only point was her name, and yet she still forgot to say her name in college. Particularly interesting. Also, that the Cambridge Union, standing for progress, as it so often does, has just laughed at a joke about coal miners being extinct, so that's good. And also, I don't really know anything about Game of Thrones, but I've come up with a Game of Thrones analogy just because that seems to be what you like. So my degree is a lot like Game of Thrones in that I know fuck all about it. And I'm also not getting my money's worth out of the union because I'm not a member. Right, okay, good. Point number one, Milo, I hear you all ask. You're a fourth-year management student. Yes, I am. Doesn't that mean you've extended your degree at Cambridge? Isn't that the opposite of giving up and going home? Well, it's not, though, is it? Because, extending your degree to a fourth year is, in fact, giving up and going home from life, which is very much what I've done. This isn't a real thing, is it? I'm standing in a very old room talking to a load of people and you're laughing at things which objectively are not funny. This is my life, right? This is like therapy for me. Can't afford therapy, just come here. And also, I feel it's important to point out that a lot of great people and institutions have given up. Napoleon gave up. Captain Oates gave up. The US Army gave up in Vietnam. Ray Charles gave up heroin. Right, you can't jokes about at the expense of the Americans in Vietnam. It is one, not too soon, and two, they were definitely the aggressors there. Right, okay, just so we've got that covered, right? Another great Briton, of course, Winston Churchill, famously said the following: "We shall fight on the beaches and on the landing grounds and on the fields and in the streets, unless it's raining, in which case, fuck it." Which I think is a very valid point, and one which we should internalise for our time at Cambridge. And one which I think very much comes up, and I also have an essay title from my days as a classics student, much like Charlotte. I have an essay title, not that she does classics. Although, similarly pointless degree, I think she'll agree. This essay title was, "How are Homeric narratives of Kleos reflected in the topography of the Troad?" I mean, that can just fuck off, can't it, really? Like, at what point, right, has anyone ever sat down and thought, well, it would really advance the progress of humanity if someone came up with an answer to this question? My Homeric narratives of fucking Kleos are very much lacking in explanation with respect to the Troad. I just can't finish making this toasty until I've worked that out, right? That's not a genuine, conundrum that people have had before. And this is, sadly, something that's been continued to be reflected in my studies of management. I've routinely given up and gone home, or just not gone at all to management lectures. I was in a lecture recently on something called operations management, and we were given an interesting task of working out how we could feasibly run a mobile library on a total lifetime budget in perpetuity of £1,000. Now, as a business student, I can tell you that's fucking impossible, right, for a kick-off, because you can't even buy a van for that. And then they asked if we could envisage any particular challenges, as opposed to, just not having enough money. And one person said, well, I suppose if all the books got stolen from the van. At which point the lecturer said, how do you think that would affect the operation of your library? Quite a fucking lot, I should imagine, Jane. And why are we here? We're here to learn. But, Eve wanted to learn. That didn't turn out well, did it? The Nazi from the Raiders of the Lost Ark, he wanted to learn a lot of things, didn't end well. And the people who made Towie wanted to find out what would happen if they made that program. And we all know how that turned out. And finally, the man who famously didn't give up, Rick Astley. I ask you this, Cambridge. Where the fuck is Rick Astley now? Have you downloaded a Rick Astley single lately? No, because he's nowhere and he's still ginger. Give up and go home.
Thank you, Milo, for that speech. Now can we move on to the final speaker of the emergency debate, Alice. Alice is a first-year geographer at Newnham, and she's going to be speaking second in opposition. Alice.
So I don't think we should ever give up and go home. And to illustrate my point, I'm going to draw on a brief personal anecdote. So we all had that time in our lives when we were applying to university, and as you might expect, I wanted to apply to Cambridge. Now I thought it would be wise to get some kind of gauge from a voice of authority, and so I went to ask my form tutor what he thought of this decision. I said, should I apply to Cambridge? And he gave me a very simple answer, and it's a simple answer that I will never forget. He said no. Now, I'm going to ask you this, and I think you know where this is going. Would I be standing in front of you today if I'd given up and gone home? Fast forward 2 months, it's the day of my interview. I've packed my bags, I've got a map of Cambridge with the route from the station marked out in highlighter, and I get on the train. But I get on the wrong train. I got on the train to Bradford. I'm going to ask you this again, ladies and gentlemen. Do you think I'd still be standing in front of you today if I'd given up and gone home? No, I'd be standing in Bradford. Lastly, it's the week before Freshers' Week, 3 days before the beginning of my university career, and I'm playing hockey. In the last 40 seconds of said hockey match, I break my ankle. Did I give up and go home? I went to Cindy's on crutches in Freshers' Week. Did I give up and go home? 3 weeks into term, I fell off a chair, I broke my arm. Did I give up and go home? This is all horribly, horribly true. Did I give up and go home? No. I gave up and I went to hospital. Because sometimes that's what you need to do, and maybe that's what I'm suggesting to you today. Maybe sometimes we need to stop, reflect, and go to metaphorical hospital, because giving up and going home is called being a failure. But never giving up, never going home, and never accepting that change and progress needs to be made is called being a conservative. What I'm suggesting... Sorry. What I'm suggesting today is some middle ground. Maybe we go to hospital. Maybe we take Cambridge to hospital, because it's not perfect. But it can be awesome if we make it awesome. Whose university, and indeed the proposition, will agree that maybe to some extent hospital is needed when it comes to Cambridge. But we're only here for a relatively very, very short amount of time. And yes, sometimes it's shit. Sometimes you're in the library, buried in textbooks, buried in misery, and buried in an overwhelming sensation that nothing will ever be good or okay or happy, ever. But then suddenly, before you know it, you're downing Sainsbury's Basics wine, discarding the plastic bottle behind a wheelie bin in Market Passage. You're tearing up the Cindy's dance floor before going to Gardy's and ordering an extra, extra large portion of fried chicken, before sauntering past King's in the dark and realizing that it's for these moments that we bother. I mean, I don't like to suggest that the only thing about Cambridge that's worth it is the drinking culture, but it's an example. Because we're lucky to be here, and it's unlikely that ever in our lives will we experience a place where so much coolness is condensed in one place. So don't spread pessimism here, because it doesn't belong. We're meant to be students. We're supposed to be idealistic and determined and hopeful. Take your deterministic... No. Take your pessimistic determinism to someone who deserves it. Maybe take it to Nigel Farage. See if you can persuade him to give up and go home. Because while a spectacular proportion of everyone's time here might be spent wishing we could just give up and go home and take the easy option. Oh, go on then, yeah. Give up and go. And another one of Nigel Farage's policy, part of that policy is that people shouldn't even try in the first place. And I think that Nigel Farage's policies are wrong, and that people shouldn't give up and go home. Because, after all, despite a bewilderingly vague debate motion today, Eleanor's controversial points about Leeds and the Ancient Literature Society, none of you have given up or gone home. And I thank you for that. So don't give up, don't go home, and support the opposition today.
I've ever seen to a close. But before you're allowed to give up and go home, we're going to be doing a floor vote. Anyone who says that the ayes have it, you're going to, as soon as I ask, you're going to shout aye. And then, as soon as I ask whether or not you think the no's won, you're going to shout no. And then, whoever wants to abstain, as soon as I call it, you're going to make like a bizarre meh noise. So who thinks that the ayes have it? Aye! Who thinks that the no's have it? No! Okay, and who thinks that the abstentions have it? All right. So I think with a resounding victory, the no's have it. So congratulations. The main debate's going to be starting.